This reading vlog is going to be a little bit sporadic maybe because we're going to be doing it in different locations on our vacation venue. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope it turns out okay. But anyway, here we are to answer your questions. First question is from my girl over at Sophisticated Books. She wants to know, what is your favorite thing about the other person?
Oh, these are questions about us, each other? I'm waiting.
Corey is genuinely just like a really good, selfless person. Like, he naturally, so for me, I wasn't really sure I even wanted to get married when we started dating. And my reason was because I felt like a lot of marriages were just really complacent and like not even really all that happy. And I wasn't interested in that. And so for me, my thing was, if I was going to get married, I wanted someone that was going to not just get comfortable and just like be fine. I wanted someone that would fight for like the best marriage, you know, that would really put something into it. And I was just worried that I wouldn't find somebody like that. And with Corey, like, his nature is to constantly be thinking about me and to constantly be checking himself and wondering if like he's putting as much into this marriage as he should, and if he's taking care of me as well as he could. And that's just who he is as a person. Like, he's just naturally a really like kind-hearted, loving, selfless person. And so it's not even something that he has to work at really, it's just who he is. So it's something that I know will always be there with me being married to him. So I just like who he naturally is.
I think my favorite thing about her is just the way she, and this is gonna sound weird, but the way she rationalizes things. Like, it's just her personality, the way she, like the logic that she uses, and I don't know, like when she has an opinion, she can state that opinion and why she has it very clearly and make a very good case for why she has that opinion. And I love that about her. It's not like, oh, my opinion is this just because this is just the way I feel, but like she actually has A, B, and C reason why she feels this way. And a lot of the times it's really hard to argue with her because she makes such a compelling case for all of her opinions.
I'm not super argumentative.
No, she's not, but like, you know, I don't know, she just does a very good job knowing what she believes and why she believes it, and that's very attractive. I really like that.
We'll answer two questions here. Excuse you.
Oh.
We'll answer a couple questions here because the next one is for me alone, and it's, what's your favorite underappreciated novel? I'm gonna name two for this. Everybody Sees the Ants does not get enough love on YouTube. It is amazing, and it's an important story, and I think that more people should read it. Also, What to Say Next is a flawed book, and I feel like a lot of people really focus on the flaws and then just don't talk about it. Also, nobody knows about it because it's never talked about again on YouTube. But I think that there's so much good in that book. It's like a really important story, and I think that it deserves a lot more love than it gets on YouTube and in life in general. Okay, Fit and Beautiful Reads wants to know from Corey which books he likes to read. Oh, and a question for me as well. When the second book of Perfection is coming out. Okay, start with you.
What
books do you like to read?
What books do I like to read?
Yeah.
I typically don't read books. I love the Harry Potter series. I've read those through twice or 1.5 times.
1.5.
1.5 times. Those will suck me in and kind of keep me. I just recently read The Martian, and it was excellent. I listened to it on audiobook, and the voice actor was phenomenal. Ooh, Band of Brothers is a great book. Black Hawk Down is a great book.
You really like autobiographical?
Yes. General Norman Schwarzkopf's autobiography is a fantastic read. If you don't know who he is, look him up. He was awesome.
Well, a lot of my subscribers aren't American, so there's probably tons of people that don't know who that is. And then my question from Fit and Beautiful Reads, Heart Reads, is about Perfection. And I actually had several questions wondering when the next book in Perfection is being released. So I don't know. My goal is to have it out in September at some point. That's a tentative goal, but it'll for sure be in 2018, hopefully September.
I think I'm gonna write a book.
Just something?
I'll just, somehow I manage.
Award-winning content right here.
Yeah, do another one.
You want another one?
Yeah.
Okay. How did you and Corey meet?
How did we meet?
Yep.
That may be a long one.
Is it that long? It doesn't
don't
have
know.
to be that long.
You tell it.
I worked at a school, I worked at a missionary training school in California, and his sister was one of my students.
Yep.
And he flew out for her graduation, and we met, and we spoke for a while. I told him about Doctor Who, and then he watched Doctor Who and then messaged me, and then we never stopped messaging. We were long distance for 6 months, because he lived in Kentucky, and then I moved out to Kentucky, and we got engaged, and now we're married, and we like it.
We do like it. I think we made good choices.
We've definitely made good choices.
Yeah.
Next question is asking if I would ever go to Canada, and the answer is yes. I've actually been several times before. Some of my closest friends live in Canada. I went to school with them. I have like 5 friends that I'm super close with that live in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and I used to go every year. I'd stay for like a month at a time and go and hang out with them and just like stay at their houses and just chill with them, which I haven't been back since I've been married, but Corey and I have talked about going back together, and some of our friends in Saskatoon said that when we do go back, that they would take us to some of the more pretty areas and we would kind of like vacation with them essentially. So I would love to do that. That would be super fun. Next question is for both of us, but I'm gonna let you answer because I love this question, but we actually have the same answer because we've already discussed this at length. So the next question is, if we had one elemental ability, which one would we choose?
Oh, right. I would probably have to go with wind. Controlling the wind.
Air.
Air, right, air. I would have to go with air because I think that would be pretty killer.
Yeah, we both say air. We have discussed this at length because we recently were watching Avatar, and elemental magic is my favorite kind of magic. So since I was a little kid, I've always wanted to be an airbender, and he's recently gotten into it and he's like, oh yeah, air is definitely the best.
Yep.
Is a good one, and I've been thinking about it, so I have an advantage. Someone wanted to know what fictional character, what fictional book character we would see each other as. We have to answer for each other. And I figure we should stay within the realm of Harry Potter since we've both read that, and pretty much only that. So, I've given it a lot of thought, and I cannot think of a better answer than, you'll appreciate this, Cedric.
Cedric! I do appreciate that very much.
So the reason is because both of you are Hufflepuffs. You're both super athletic and talented and competitive, and yet good, honorable people that would do the right thing and would never cheat and would never choose to win over
That's 3, by the way.
what's right. Yeah, I got 3 on that one. It was an easy course too.
Easy hole.
And you're both cute.
Oh, you think Robert Pattinson's cute?
Oh, I don't really think of him as Cedric. I just think of the book Cedric.
Oh.
But yeah, I guess he's okay. Your turn. All right, you have your answer for me?
I have my answer for you,
Yeah.
and that would be Pansy Parkinson.
Oh, shut up. What is your answer?
Now, why is that so bad?
What's your answer?
I actually don't know yet. I honestly think the best one that would fit you would be Ginny Weasley.
Why?
Because...
You got a putt.
Oh, yeah. Because she was a badass. Like, she was a very competent wizard, and she could hold her own. Like, people think of her, well, she kind of starts out in the book as this like little sister to the Weasleys, and like, but she grows up and is like killer.
Yeah.
And
She's fierce.
yeah, she's fierce. She's formidable. And that really, I think, is one of the stronger.
Putt, baby.
And that she's really one of the stronger female characters, I think.
Yeah. Do you want to go first for this one?
Why would I ever want to do that?
I want to hear what you have to say for this answer. The next question is, if we didn't have limited funds, then what is our ideal vacation?
Ooh.
You want to answer this one first?
No, you go first. I need to
Okay,
think about it.
For me, just off the tippy top of my head, I haven't thought about it already. I'm thinking mountains, hot springs, or at least hot tubs.
Watch out for those rocks.
I'd like for it to be like somewhere near someplace for the kids. Like I'm imagining we already have our second child. And so we can like be in the mountains and like have a bunch of like alone time where it's just the family playing board games and swimming and just hanging out, just us. But then also being able to go to Harry Potter World and Disney World.
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking. Like that's my feels. What about you?
You got 2.
That's it. A birdie. All right, what do you say, babe?
Honestly, like my ideal vacation was our honeymoon. That's probably about what I would like
Yeah.
because I've grown a fondness for the ocean now that
Yeah.
I didn't have before.
True.
But yeah, you're like mountainous, like something like Yellowstone National Park.
Yeah. That was what was cool about our honeymoon was it was just, since it was like a resort and it was like a bunch of old people and us, so it was really chill and we always had whatever space we wanted to occupy, whether it was like those natural springs or
Yeah.
the natural reef is what it was,
Yep.
or like the beach or whatever. It was all ours because we were on a different schedule than everybody else in the resort. So that
Yeah.
would be really cool.
And everything was all inclusive too.
Yeah, well, yeah, that was cool too.
It was awesome. I've always wanted to go out to the west, like Oregon, Washington, Wyoming. So somewhere like that where it's in the mountains with that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be neat.
I want that.
Birdie.
Aside from that, there are a bunch of countries I'd like to visit.
Well, yeah. But that wouldn't be vacation. That would be more like mission trip stuff.
Yes, but like I want to go to South America. I want to go to Asia.
Thing is, we've both been to several countries that the other hasn't been to.
Yeah.
If you don't know this about us already, our dream is to be missionaries in third world countries. So naturally, like mission trips would be even more ideal than vacations.
Yeah.
So anything out of country where we can be doing missions would be ideal for us. Next couple questions are for me, but I'm gonna have you answer them for me and see how you do. 1, how old is my channel?
Right at 2 years old.
Yeah, it's like 2 years and a couple of weeks. It's like, no.
Ooh, I got that pretty good.
No, it's 2 years and a couple of months, I think, because I think it was May that we first started. Would you ever write historical fiction, and if yes, which era would you set your story in?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Would I ever write historical fiction?
I think you would.
Yeah?
Yeah. You'd probably set it in the World War II era.
Interesting. That
Because
is
you-
most historical fiction.
Only because you've read Salt to the Sea.
Yeah. Okay, so most historical fiction, most well-known historical fiction is like romance, which obviously I would never write since I don't read romance. But there are some really good historical fictions like Salt to the Sea. And so if I did write a historical fiction, it would for sure be a tragedy, and it would be something actually what I've really considered recently is he really loves these YouTube videos talking about plane crashes, and it like reenacts what went wrong and how the whole thing went down, and it's like footage from, not footage, but like recordings from the black box. And I've watched some of those with him, and I've considered actually taking one of those stories and creating it in book form because they're fascinating. So I would totally be down for like writing a tragedy, whether it be recent or historical. I'd totally be down for that, but it definitely wouldn't be like a romance. Okay, last question I'm gonna answer, and it's for me, and it's what book would I want you to read the most? And honestly,
Hold on, what book that you would want me to read the most?
yeah.
Oh, I know. It's
What?
Brandon Sanderson.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Just any Brandon Sanderson. Really, the Mistborn trilogy.
yeah.
That's what you want me to read the most.
I do want him to read Mistborn pretty badly. But the truth is, I don't care what he reads as long as he's reading. Like, I don't care if he reads fiction, nonfiction, if it's
50 Shades of Grey.
That's not true. Autobiography, or if it's like, I don't care what he reads, if it's something that I've read before or not. I just want him to read so that we can talk books. But yeah, it's true. I really would love for you to read Mistborn. So the last question is, how has our relationship changed since the beginning?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Why don't you go first?
One big change, obviously, is being parents now. We definitely, in the beginning of our relationship, our entire affection was completely each other.
Yes.
I mean, like, we loved each other so much that it was like, it hurt. Like, we couldn't stand to be apart.
That is true.
We were each other's entire world. And now it's crazy being parents now because we have so much affection, like that that affection that's so deep that it's almost painful. We have that for our son, but it's morphed to where like now not only do I still like adore the person that you are, but I love seeing you as a dad too, and like you taking care of and loving the child that I love so much, like just makes me love you even more.
Yeah.
And then also like the way that you go out of your way to make sure that I'm taken care of while I'm taking care of our son, it just like amps up how much affection he can show me. Like he can show me that he loves me in an even bigger way. How about you?
I would have to echo all of that.
No, I talked about parenting, so you have to say something different. How has our relationship changed in these last 4 years? Or I guess 5, counting your dating life.
I mean, maybe this is a good thing or a bad thing, but like in our dating years and in the first little bit of our marriage years, do you remember like how like we would sit next to each other and then be touching each other 24/7 if we were around each other?
Yeah, we were obsessed with each other.
Yeah. And like I remember we would watch TV in the living room and we would have 2 recliners and a big couch, and we would always sit
Yeah,
on the exact
we never
same.
used the chairs.
Yeah, we never used the chairs. We'd always sit together where we had to touch each
Yeah.
other. And that was every time we were in the room, we had to be touching each other somehow.
That has shifted.
Yes. And now that we've been married 4 years, I still love to touch you,
Yeah.
but like I also would like to sit in that comfy recliner by myself sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely like, I mean, but that's reasonable. Like we had that obsessive like puppy love, and now
Yeah.
it's still just as strong. Like I've heard people say like marriage makes your love grow into a warm, comfortable glow, and it's just comfort or whatever. And I hate that because
That's lame.
like marriage is still amazing, you know, like it doesn't have to like dull into just a comfort and a complacency. Like I'm still obsessed with you. It's just less of like that puppy love, I need to be touching you at all times, like I'll freak out if like I think that I've upset you, like that sort of thing. And it's more of like a healthy, mature relationship where it's more like we function as separate individuals a lot better now, whereas before we were only one entity and that was it.
Yep. And now, kind of going back to what you said, like when I'm away working or out of town, I used to just pine
Yeah.
to come home to my wife.
You
like,
still do that.
I do, but like now it's like my son is just as strong. Like I pine to come home and see my son too.
Yeah,
Like,
that hasn't changed as far as like you always hated, he works out of town a lot with his job. He's always hated being out of town since being with me because he just wants to be with me. And now that we have a son, it's still that way, but he's just like, I want to see my boy, I want my
Yeah.
wife and my kid, I miss them both. So like
Yeah.
that hasn't shifted. And of course that's a personality thing, because a lot of people, like a lot of couples don't mind going on trips by themselves and stuff
Nope.
like that. And we have never been that way. Like we don't like to be apart.
if I'm gonna go on a trip, I want it to be with my wife.
Yeah.
Or I would rather just be at home.
Yeah, we definitely are the type of people where we really don't need a lot of time, just us. You know, like, I don't know, I never want to just go out with my friends and leave you behind. I always want to be with you.
Exactly.
And that's just a personality thing.
That's exactly how I feel
And now
too.
I'm the same way with my son. It's like, I don't want to go on a trip away from my boy. I want to be with my family. But that's a personality thing for sure. So anyway, we hope you enjoyed this vlog. We hope that you guys had fun getting to know us a little bit better. Don't be too gooey. Yeah, we hope that you enjoyed getting to know us a little bit better. I hope that this was fun, and I hope that you liked seeing a little bit of our vacation spot and answering some of your questions. So, episodes are Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. We'll see you again soon. Bye.